And just like that, we are done with our 16 days trip in Thailand. My God, it's more than half a month. And we're making the most difficult part of this journey, which is going home. I'm so not looking forward to going home. Or sort of, but after 16 days of hospitality, great hospitality, good food, and amazing sights and sounds, beautiful roads, I'm gonna miss this place. I'm definitely gonna come back for sure. If you're looking for the best protection for your car, look no further to Expel. I put my cars through harsh conditions like constant B-road blasting, road trips and occasional track days, and I want my car to look the best, and Expel's Ultimate Plus paint protection films never fail to protect the paint on my cars while keeping it looking amazing. All Expel's products, including prime window tints, come with an official e-warranty from the manufacturer, which gives me an additional confidence and maximum peace of mind when using their products. And this allows me to be fully present and enjoy all my experiences with my cars wherever I go and whatever I do. Click the link in the description below to find out more about Expel's products and their official dealers in Malaysia. Protect everything you love with Expel. So the last few days I spent after Das Straffen in Bangkok, we went down to Prambury, which is one of my favorite spots for retreat. It's like a small village, like a kampong, very, very nice. Celebrated my birthday there with my parents, a couple of friends. And then we went all the way down to Khao Lak. I've never been to Khao Lak, but this place used to be a tsunami, disaster place. I mean, it was struck very badly by tsunami, and they rebuilt this place. Yeah, it's just kind of, in a way, if you think about it, it's kind of eerie that that place was, one of the most affected places on tsunami. It was so bad that there was a police ship that got sent in 3 meters inland. But I spent most of my time in the resort, so I didn't film much because I just needed to disconnect. I think all of us need a little bit of that, don't we? Just having a couple of days just to disconnect and just be with yourself. And it was great. Freshly recharged, as you can see. Getting back to KL and back to work. But I want to take this opportunity to really just thank Thailand for your amazing hospitality. Everywhere I go to, it's the people. The way they greet you, the way they welcome you. It feels that people do their best. If not, they are very gracious of your arrival in Thailand, and you're spending time and spending your money here in Thailand. Definitely going to come back. Yeah, and the other thing I noticed is how clean, everywhere I go to is how clean it is. The seaside, whether it's a public beach or whether it's a public toilet, petrol stations, just really well taken care of. Hats off to you, Thailand. Just feels so lovely to be here. Now, I want to take this opportunity right now to talk a little bit about the Alpine, because I spent 5,200 kilometers in this car. And what's the verdict of this car being a long distance cruiser, or a car that to drive a lot, right? So first and foremost, I'm going to talk about the things that I don't like about this car. And you probably will guess it. It's the space of the car. It's really small. I mean, at first I thought I managed it pretty well. We packed our bags, massaged it into the front and the boot, but when the cabin is small, it is a little bit inconvenient. For example, if I want to grab something from my bag, it's so much work because my bag's behind my seats, and then even though there's a floating panel, a little space down there, it's so hard to reach in there because your seats are you're gonna literally squeeze your fingers in, which hurts your hands and stuff. So it's the cabin space starts to get really, really annoying really, really quickly. Yeah. The second thing are the seats. Because of its bolsters on the side, the seats kind of force you to round your back a little bit. And what happens in the end of a long journey is that if you're not careful, your neck will slouch forward, at least my neck, and then I get a terrible neck ache by the end of every drive. So, the remedy to that is to get massage every day or just be worried about your posture as you drive, right? But although when you're driving in hard cornering and stuff, these seats really hold you in, so it does its function well. But let's talk about the grand touring capability of this car, right? Because after all, it's called Legion GT. Is it really a GT? Now, traditionally GT is grand touring, means you take a car, and usually it's a luxurious car, it's a you know, back in the days, big CC engine, hefty, luxurious, powerful, and you will cross country with it in Europe. That's what people do in Grand Tourers. So what's the capacity of that in this car? So I'm going to put it in this way so that we can have a more accurate, you know, representation through, you know, words, right? Let's say a traditional Grand Tourer of this era would be something like a DB11. Let's say that's a 5 out of 5, okay, in its Grand Touring capability, okay, or Bentley Continental, right? That would be a very luxurious Grand Tourer, hefty, nice, you fly down the highway, feel nothing at all, powerful. Now that's a 5 out of 5. This car would be something more of like a 2.5 out of that. And so this car is not that sort of, you know, it's not inherently a Grand Tourer. But can it do Grand Touring? Well, yes, with quite a compromise, as I said earlier, with cabin space and boot space and stuff like that, right? But I never once complained this car to be uncomfortable, because every car has its DNA, and its DNA for this car is a sports car, right? A sports car needs to be nimble, light, responsive, urgent, takes response well, interactive, dynamic, you know. So this car has all of that, and you know, it has, I would say, 4 out of 5 for that quality, 4.5 out of 5. Very, very entertaining. But with that, you know, you can't really kill all the impact from the road. You need that feel. So in that sense, you do lose out a bit on comfort. But NVH actually is not too bad, right? It's not that noisy as you cruise down the highway or if you go down the road. It's actually very, very okay. Yeah, but it remembers its DNA. It's a sports car. When you get to the bends, the car really just shines, right? And if you're sort of the driver that likes this kind of things, then you know this is a great car. Like you can drive comfortably, arrive at those twisty roads and just enjoy it, right? Whereas there's some cars, they are really dynamic, but because it's so uncomfortable when you hit the roads, you're just like, and even at the bends, you lose appetite. You get what I mean, right? This car doesn't have that, you know. In fact, it's way more comfortable than my Spider in that sense, yeah. So, great sports car with the capacity to do some Grand Touring. Of course, comfortable enough, not the maximum comfort level. So for me, I think it's a sweet spot for keen drivers. Yeah, it's a really sweet spot for keen drivers. I think the A110S with stiffer suspension and the anti-roll bar could do it as well, but I think this is the one to have. Yeah, and which comes to my favorite part about this car, it's just the way it drives. It drives amazing. I mean, okay, let me try to describe it in this way. Dynamic, extremely dynamic. It allows you to have so many options when you go in the corner. You can dive bomb in the corner and manage the car. You could, you know, trail brake to have the tail slowly tuck out, and you know, you can take that corner nicely. You can drive it by the nose of the car. You can drive it, you know, you can chuck an oversteer just to rotate the car. You can do so many things, all right? You can drive it sharply as well. The car welcomes it. It allows you to have all these different kind of driving styles and adjustments and options in the corner. And for me, that is really the hallmark of this car. And it's rather fast as well. I mean, even though it's a 1.8 litre, 250 horsepower, it's pretty fast. Sometimes I don't pay attention in the corners and look, oh my God, I'm way above the speed limit, okay? But of course, when it comes to pure power, sheer power with other bigger cars, like I was driving with a Turbo S or the 458, I have no chance. Every time the road opens up, they just disappear. Or even Bobby's RS6 or even Alex's 992 Cabrio, they just disappear. Every time the road goes straight, boom, off they go, right? This car celebrates something so important. It's the joy of driving, the engagement, the dynamism, it absorbs you in the world. That's what it is, right? And I know a lot of people complain about or say that the engine is not, you know, it's no soul to it. And yes, true. If you put it next to a V8 and put it next to, let's say, an Emira's V6 or the Boxers from Porsche, of course, those have more soul. But I think if you take that and you're trying to measure this car with that ruler, you might find yourself disappointed and missing out the point of this car. The point of this car is it is its bones, right? The chassis, the 4 double wishbone, right? The aluminium chassis, and just the way it takes corners, right? And it's kind of like, you know, there's no one right way to drive it. You can drive it any way you like and still have fun, you know. So I would take a few corners smoothly, and then I'll take some corners a little bit more crazily, and then when my partner says she's a bit nauseous, I'll go back to be driving smoothly again. So many things you can do. Yeah, you can be a hooligan, you can be a smooth operator, all of it's fun. Yeah, in that sense, that's a car that I like. Yeah, and if you are a keen driver, you know, want something comfortable enough to daily and do some road trips, and when you see the corners, you don't have compromise at the corners. No compromise at the corners. The Alpine A110 is that. Yeah. This car has disgustingly good fuel economy. I spent, 5,200 kilometers blasting down B roads, highway miles, A roads, blasting B roads again, like full throttle, you know, all of that, you know. And I'm doing 83 liters to 100 kilometers. I think that's pretty impressive. Yeah, pretty darn impressive, given that it's a lightweight car, you know, and 1.8 turbo. Yeah, I would expect good economy, but this is very good. It's consistently there, 8.3 kilometers, 8.3 liters per 100 kilometer. Never gone past the 9. Yeah. So this car, this Alpine, I think in this journey, I really bonded with this car, and I don't see it leaving my garage in the near future. I just absolutely love it. It's such a joy to drive. Just thinking about the car, looking at it, just, you know, you just look forward to drive it even if it's on a daily commute, which is what this car is going to do a lot, you know, compared to my Spider, you know, because it's automatic, you know, it's a roof up, you know, it's a coupe versus a drop top. Yeah. Yep. So coming up next with the Alpine, I will be taking down to Singapore for its adoption and also its first service in Alpine Centre, Singapore. Never been there, want to take a look and see the Alpine boys over there as well, and gals. And then I'm also going to do a proper clean on this car. This car has been thoroughly abused for the last 16 days. No wash, full of stone chips, full of dust, industrial fallout, dirt, mud, everything, bird poop, tree sap. And I want to do it as a sort of a test, because I have so high of a trust and confidence in XPEL. I know that it can take it, but I want to show it as proof. Even after baking it under the sun, not washing it for 16 days, and in just one wash, the car will just look as good as new. Yeah. Okay, so that's going to come up next in the video. Now, stay tuned for my channel if you want to find out more about an Alpine A110 ownership and any of my cars ownership. I also produce other contents as well to check it out. Yep. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and leave me in the comments any questions you'd like to ask about the Alpine A110, and I'll try my best to answer them. Right? And please don't forget to like this content if you do enjoy it, and subscribe to my channel. As always, love you guys. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Merry Christmas, and keep it 100. Okay, we are home, and let's check out the condition of the car, how dirty it is, so we get a little visual snapshot on how the car is. But let's get the mileage first. So the total mileage on the car is now 99222. My car is filthy, full of dust everywhere. Yeah, let's go ahead and start it so we can see what's the mileage. Okay, so from home to home, right? Let's see. From home to home. That's 6,241 kilometers per 0.2 kilometers. Average speed of 70 and 83 liters. So 6,000 kilometers over 16 days. You know, look at the condition of the car. Oh, it's so dirty. My carpet. You know, look at that, all the dirt in the car. It's so unacceptable. Okay, let's check out the exterior. Start from the front of the oh, look at that, all dirty here. Dirty, dirty, dirty. Sorry, Mr. Bugs. Killed a lot of you. Look at the rims. Oh wow, look at how dirty it is. Oh, the wheel well. Oh, the body. Oh, that dirt, 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 dirt. Okay, lights. Okay, all this little, all the bug spatter. Yeah, some of them even stuck onto the grill. Look at that. All this. When the rear brakes are kicked in, it's gonna be so satisfying washing this. Yeah, that's what happens when you don't wash your car after 6,000 kilometers in 16 days. Okay, off to run some errands and then we'll do a ASMR washing video. That's all kicked up. Yeah, I can't even take some of them off. I can still feel it. Okay, we'll see how the Expel holds up against this kind of abuse.